We're good to go? Perfect. Okay, at this time, we will start by taking roll, and let's go ahead and start from my left, please.
P.G. Zimmerman.
Alan Johnston.
Rob Thomas.
Elida Snow.
Ron Goodman. Tony Riegel. Walter Steiner. Cody Katzen.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, I invite any member of the audience to briefly address the trustees on any issue that is not on the agenda. Okay. Did you have something?
I don't know if this is on the agenda. I've not been to a meeting before, but just in regard to cross-country coaching at the middle school level.
So that is on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, moving on then to the setting of September's meetings. We have Tuesday, September 2nd at 4:30 and Monday, September 8th at 6:30 for the regular board meeting. Does that sound good to everybody?
Labor Day.
It is Labor, well, Monday is Labor Day, hence why it's moved to Tuesday this week or this month.
That's a very good holiday. We tend to bow season.
I move that we approve the meetings.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by BG to set September's monthly meetings for September 2nd at 4:30, special agenda meeting, and Monday, September 8th at 6:30 for the regular board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so then we have July's minutes. Did everybody get a chance
We
to?
did not get those out yet.
Oh.
I'm swamped right now, so
Okay.
they will be out next month.
Okay, look for lots of minutes to read next month.
Yeah. They're not there.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to budget and finance.
I make a motion that we approve the trustees' financial report for July 2025 for a total of $717,531.42. Approved warrants 17925 through 18007 and 0 voided warrants.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by BG to approve the trustees' financial report for July. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so I guess we can start with our leadership team. Let's go ahead and start with Ms. Kidwell. Sure you are.
How are you guys today?
Good.
So, just a couple of things. We are putting in a lot of hours to get ready for the new school year. At Libby Elementary, our main three areas of focus, we just continue to grow and build. We're going to continue to focus on instruction, meaning fidelity to state standards via core instruction, small group differentiated instruction. A thing that we added based on data and our SLT's consensus was to add building independent stamina for students. So they are reading and writing more independently. Also continue to focus on 90% intellectual engagement, and our decisions are data driven. We are also going to continue a focus on our MTSS processes. We have built that over the course of the last 4 years, and we continue to add and strengthen Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 to meet the needs of all students at our school. And we are going to continue to use the platform Branching Minds to document all the interventions, behavior incident reports, family communication, It's all housed in one location, and our teachers and staff have done a really good job of growing and building capacity in that arena. So we're going to continue with that focus. And also, we're going to continue to focus on improving family and community engagement. We have clearly defined what that means. So it's a strong school-to-home connection and communication, rich partnerships to support students via family and community involvement. So those are our three, what I call big dogs, that we're going to continue to focus on and grow and strengthen in. Something that's new in Branching Minds, there are additional tools that will help our work in serving children. One of those tools is called Canopy, and it's a place that houses any time we do a threat assessment or a suicide risk assessment on a student, there is a place that will live for our threat assessment team. So all of that data is in one area instead of being kind of parceled out across the drive or in certain people's emails, so on and so forth. So I think that will really help our work with kids with a high need. We also have a meeting assistant there that the more data that is put into Branching Minds, the better the meeting agenda will be created. It will take notes after the meeting, summarize everything, continuing to make suggestions as to next steps. So that will help streamline the work of our teachers and staff. And there is also a little Ask Dottie. She's a little dog that's a part of the platform that's really MTSS driven. So it's AI, but it's housed within the platform. So it's safe. It doesn't go out to like ChatGPT or anywhere else. It's within our own platform. So again, it's going to help streamline work and better meet the needs of students. So those are some improvements to the platform. And one more thing we're going to be working on as part of our literacy grant, we did write in there an addition of a family liaison. And the family liaison is envisioned to help focus on attendance and improving the connection and the relationship between school and family with students who are showing chronic absenteeism. Part of that is to develop an MTSS attendance pathway. So that is something that we will be brainstorming and working on with Mr. Goodman, a job description, what that looks and sounds like, so that we can tackle those attendance issues to make sure that we provide the right supports to students and families that are struggling to attend consistently. So that's in a nutshell what we've been working on, and there will be more details in the September board meeting for you guys. And I know Tom wants to share something that he's working on to improve for student safety.
So the playground, zoning out the playgrounds so that there will be 5 zones in the front playground. For each zone, for a zone to be open on the playground, we will have a staff member at that zone so that we have adequate supervision as well, and making sure that all kids are supervised at all times. Also working with Mark on Thursday to transition our 6th graders to the 7th grade as seamlessly as possible. So.
Okay. Then moving on, Mr. Beagle.
Yeah, it's always fun to have to follow Denise in these kind of conversations. Registration for us starts this week, so the elementary schools, so our new student registration and current registration online portals are open, but still going to start that this week. Between now and the 25th, I'm setting up a meeting with our student body government kids. Nick and I are going to spend some time with them. I want to have a conversation with them about some of the universals that we want to put into place, just how we're going to work on cell phone stuff this year, hallway behaviors. This year I really want to work on that student government with those students, get their voices back in the school, and kind of just get that whole monthly meetings with agendas and their bylaws, get all that kind of up and going again. So I'm kind of excited to meet with those kids here coming up next week. Again, laying out homecoming, laying out Veterans Day ceremony, just all that stuff, so it's well out ahead of time and planned out for everybody for planning purposes. Setting up a meeting with our leadership team, again, going to talk with them about some of the stuff that we want to implement into the first day of school before we introduce the entire staff on the 25th. I'm sure Ron's going to mention this Thursday, Friday, we are meeting as a district steering committee, again, with Carrie Cole to lay out kind of our vision academically, kind of moving forward this year. Spent quite a few hours with Carrie Cole this summer, helping us lay out how we're going to revamp all of our committees. We're going to have just a leadership team that's going to be basically curriculum, professional development driven, and an MTSS team that's going to be strictly just behavior climate. That's the only two committees that we're going to run as a building. Then we'll have department heads and grade levels, what the agenda looks like, what the action plan is going to be coming out of that. So again, Mark and I are just working on setting all those meetings coming up and putting that stuff into place to roll in before the 25th when all the teachers come back. And not to step on these guys' toes, but we start school Thursday the 28th. 29th, we have a home football game. We have a home cross country meet. Volleyball is out of town on their tip-off tournament. Soccer's out of town for a soccer game. Golf by that time's already had 3 tournaments. So things are up and working very quickly. And just again, I know how to end the school year. I still have to start a school year. So again, Mark, Nick, the secretaries have been wonderful with just helping me get everything lined out so things are well organized and going to run smoothly, hopefully for the start of the school year. Just the other thing, and again, it doesn't have to be answered right now, but when the principals and administrators could give these reports, I guess I'm not sure what exactly you want from me, what you want to hear about my building. So I don't know if that's an email out to you guys saying, what do you want? I mean, do you want to hear how many referrals we've had and what our attendance is? And I mean, I guess I'm not sure what you guys want to hear from me to report back on our school. So I don't know if that's just conversation now or if that's just feedback from one-on-one from you.
Well, I personally think every so often maybe, but every month,
I don't get that quarterly. There's just, I don't want to, I'm happy to present. I just don't want to waste. I don't want to feel like you guys, my gosh, Scott's talking again and it's going to be for 20 minutes and we just don't really want to hear this kind of stuff. So I just want to make sure I give you what you want and we value our time is all. So if there's anything that you want to hear, I just, for sure, again, I think we'll do attendance. That's important to us. Engagement, just it's always fun to throw in some fun pictures of the fun things that are going on, the positive things, but I just don't want to just draw out things that don't be necessarily drawn out every month. So I'm just trying to figure out, and I don't want to sit down and spend 2 hours putting together a PowerPoint presentation if it's not something that you guys don't want to see or hear. So I'm just trying to minimize my time but give you guys what you want. So think about it. If I can, when we give our first report in September, if you come back and say that's really not necessary, I'm not offended by cutting anything out. So just.
And we can reach out to
So I just appreciate it. So
To both, please.
that's all.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all.
Anything on the athletic side other than that?
Yep, I got something. You got any?
Probably the same. I had a little bit of that. Go ahead.
We have our parents meeting and our head coaches meeting coming up Wednesday, which is a great start. The switch to Arbiter from Dragonfly, every time you have to learn new things, it's tough, but we've already had 148 kids as of this morning sign up on Arbiter. So that's good news for us. And the last thing was volleyball reached out and they are concerned about numbers. And they are wondering if it's okay to invite 8th graders to their first practice in case they need to try to keep a couple. And I know we already did our activities committee meeting where we addressed this. This was a little bit of a late one, but she's expecting anywhere from 20 to 22. And by the rules we put in a few years ago, 24 was the volleyball number. So I just got to give her a yes or a no. So we can discuss that after this or whatever we need to do. We just want to put that up there. What's that?
So we meet again on Monday.
We meet again Monday, but they start practice Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah. And if all of a sudden 24 girls come up, so be it, we're done, but it's just wanted to bring that up.
Nick, how would they deal with that since tryouts are Friday, Saturday? Would they have to do a separate tryout if we met? You know what I mean?
And it's hard because if we wait until Monday to make that decision, those girls are already 3 days behind And you have to have X number of practices before your first game.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, any eighth grader that wants to try it.
Yeah, all have to be invited. And now that I said that though, these eighth graders wouldn't be playing varsity and the first JV game is later in the year. So maybe we can wait till Monday because that first tournament's only varsity only. So we might be able to wait till Monday and then have a trial if needed. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
And something as a board, it's not on the agenda, so it would be something we could vote on
Anyway, so we'll wait till
we'll
Monday.
have to wait.
That'll work.
Okay,
First day of football practice is this Friday. I think golf is it Thursday?
Golf is Thursday, all the rest are Fridays.
Yeah, so all the just cross country, football, volleyball is Friday. And we're hoping to get a good turnout for the parent meeting on Wednesday. We'll meet in gym, give just a brief outline of the athletic expectations, and then they'll break off with their coach in that specific sport or classroom.
okay, thank you.
Oh, I want to also kind of piggyback on Scott. We talked too about what we think would be most vital in the presentation to you for athletics and administration at the middle school, high school. So, same token. I mean, we don't want to waste your time, and again, our time too, making the presentation. But what specifically for sure you want to see, we can think about it. I'm just trying to streamline everybody's time. Going back to the things that I would present was like, nothing really changed, but where the referrals were hallway, classroom, and we show you all that data. So kind of what Cody said, maybe once a quarter, but not every time. So just cognizant of your time too, which you actually want to see. So
Great, thank you. Mr. Goodman.
You bet. Couple summer projects that are completed and moving forward, I'm going to talk about that first. At the elementary gym, we had, I believe, the concrete in front of the gym doors is original in 1972. And we've had people fall on it, so it is, we got the concrete in there, it looks really good there, the concrete looks super. The other thing that's taking place at the elementary school is for years and years and years, we've upgraded, I think, 3 different iterations of lights for the parking lot. And so when the kids are getting off the bus and nobody can see them because nobody can compete with those lights, we're going to be putting some lights that'll be shining in that bus lane. I think it'll be very good. And that comes from a Stronger Connections grant, which is all about safety. So I think that's a really great use for that grant. And it should get Terry going on this as soon as possible. But now nobody thinks about lights when it's dark, only for a few hours a day, seems like. Other summer projects is the wonderful upgrades at the bleachers at the high school. We've had conversations in the past of if they collapse, which way would they collapse, but we've got it reinforced now. And we've got plywood, got the old boards off, and not on all of it, but on the decking. And so it's going to be really good. It's going to last for a long time because it's aluminum and it's not even slippery when it gets wet. The other thing that was really, really great at the football field and the track is Keith Ivins put in for a Lord Foundation grant, and the walking path that goes over towards Plummer, the cottonwood. The roots in there were probably, I'm going to guess, almost like a 6-7 inch lip on those. And so it had to be more of an obstacle course than anything else. And so Noble was supposed to take the asphalt from the ticket booth and go towards the end of the football field and before the bridge. And they decided to go ahead and pave it all the way up to the concession stand. And then had Mr. Gallagher put black goo on the other portion. It looks really nice. So that was something they did to make things look nice for our community. So I just appreciate Noble paving on that. They're pretty excited to make it look good. Yeah, so when you want to drive by there, take a look. The new asphalt it really looks sharp, and nobody's going to hopefully fall down on that now. So other thing, switching topics, The charter school is moving forward, a lot of work. For people who aren't typically at board meetings, we're going to have an actual new school. We've had the alternative school here, but the charter school will be a new school, and it's designed to help kids who have struggled traditionally in public schools. So get new furniture going forward on that, and everything's looking really, really good. And as far as the numbers, I think we have, oh goodness, I think we have 20 some kids that are coming back, and we have another 15 kids that already signed up. October 6th, we have to have 42 kids. So I really don't think we're going to have problems. But in the back of my mind, I'm always watching those numbers, because if we fall short by one, that would be a very bad situation. And so, so that's all good. Other issues, upcoming events for board members, policy meeting tomorrow night, 5:30 in the conference room. That is a good time. If anybody else wants to come, this is more fun than you could ever imagine. So people are really trying to be there, actually. So
Did you say dying to be there?
Right, it's a joy. And so we got all that stuff organized, ready to roll again. Insurance meeting on August 14th at 3 o'clock in the conference room. So we'll be dealing with insurance, and this is information, I believe, from the Montana Trust, and the only reason I think that they would want to tell us something, and it wasn't good, if that makes any sense. But I could be wrong. Literacy grant, Mr. Beagle alluded to this. This is a big deal in our community. We have had, I think this is our third literacy grant, and every time it has made a big impact on our instruction and student outcomes. Literacy is the biggest variable in everything. There's not a whole lot of things in this world that isn't going to be connected to literacy. And so on Thursday, we'll be sitting down and setting goals for the entire district. And Carrie Cole will be working with us, and I just think it's going to be a great deal. I'm very excited about it. I think it'll be very, very important to our school system and to our community. This thing is going to be great. New employee orientation on August 20th. That's coming right up. And then board training on August 28th, right here. Theater again. All these lots of fun things coming up, but we don't even charge admission. Other items. There's my information. Charter school. Sorry. 29 students returning. 15 students have applied. I just really believe that we're going to have a lot of students upstairs, and it's going to be very good for them. With this good transition out of COVID. PR Day is coming up. We have everything from Title IX training, suicide prevention, a minimum of, now at this point we have to do new policies. We'll get that tomorrow, Cody. Is we have to have suicide prevention at least one year out of 3. So all sorts of good stuff taking place. And then I guess on my list of things that I've been working on, grant work is on my next on my list. Title funding is coming up, and then also the other formula grants that need to be taken care of, which is a chunk of money in the school system. Any questions?
What's the maximum in a charter school? Isn't there a maximum of students you?
By the amount of oxygen we have upstairs. But I would assume, and I just got to tell you, if we go, I don't want to go 51, and I'm going to say, if the bribe let me in, I just report that, didn't you? So, no, I don't, 50 kids would be a lot, I don't. I think mid-40s would be sounds really great. Any questions?
Okay, we are going to move on to, was there any special services or curriculum? I was gonna ask how.
No.
It's right.
Okay,
that's what I thought. Okay, we're moving on to personnel then. Let's go ahead and start with the resignations, retirements, reduction of force, and non-renewals.
Do them both together?
Yeah, you can lump those.
I move that we accept the resignation of Rebecca Colmier, and I do not know how to pronounce that last name. Kaylin. Thank you. Both paraprofessionals. We hate to see them go.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to accept the resignation of Rebecca Comer and Kaylin Patrickson as paraprofessionals. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so a couple of these we can lump together, moving on to the staff contract section. So we can go ahead and take Daylin and the extended day and coach advisor contract lists and lump those together.
I move we accept the position of Libby Middle School Yearbook for Dane, Germany, and the 2025-26 extended day and coach advisory contract.
Third. I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve Daylin Germany as Libby Middle School Yearbook and the 25-26 extended day and coach advisor contracts. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so we can take the next two and put those together also.
I make a motion that we accept Marion Miller as Libby Middle High School instructional coach and Sandy Elmore as preschool instructional coach.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by BG to approve Mary Miller as Libby Middle High School instructional coach and Sandy Elmore as a preschool instructional coach.
Mary just can't see.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, let's go ahead and take the next three together.
Wow.
Moving right along.
We really found an industrial arts teacher.
Certified industrial arts teacher.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So which ones did you say? I apologize.
You can take 5, 6, and 7 together.
Okay.
I move that we approve contracts for Emily Arnold for Libby Middle High School industrial arts teacher. Good job. Tara Lewis, Libby Middle High School .34 FTE teacher. And Rebecca C. Millen,
Very good.
Libby Middle School English teacher.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by Rob to approve the contracts as listed. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. All right, we will take the rest of them individually. So let's go ahead and start with Miss Ruth Van Worth Rogers at Central Charter. What's PL?
Plum.
Clemens, preschool principal, thank you. Curriculum and special ed director and federal grant coordinator.
I so move.
And I will second that.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve the hiring of Ruth Van Worth Rogers for those positions as listed. Any questions or comments?
I've got one.
Sure.
So we already hired her,
No, that's what we're doing right now.
but we already did in the previous meeting. Didn't we already
I don't believe so.
appoint? What's the matter?
We talked.
No, yeah, we talked,
We never-
she was assigned, was she science?
She was a science student, but she was a science teacher.
She was approved half-time administrator.
Half time, right?
I don't believe we hired an administrator.
Yeah, I clarified that was wrong during the meeting. We watched the video.
Okay, we will look into that.
So I'm just curious as to how we're doing it again, because I specifically asked, is
Yeah.
all those FTE, remember that conversation?
Yeah, it's gonna go up one full FTE is what's gonna happen. That's what it needs to be in order to make accreditation.
Okay.
So we're increasing the hours because she'll become a full-time before she was hired as half-time then.
All right, but we did already hire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to Cody Pallister.
I move that we accept the position of school psychologist for Cody Pelster.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve Cody Pallister as our school psychologist. Any questions or comments?
The same contract we've always had with him.
Yes. Same, well, it's gonna be, we're going to be having some full-time, and he's gonna be picking up some counseling for us as well.
Oh,
It'll be very good.
whoa,
And school psychologists are rare,
yes.
so picking them up hard.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to consideration of Libby Middle School cross-country coach.
Now, this is the one I thought we'd already done.
No, we just discussed it at the last meeting.
But-
You skipped one.
Oh, did I?
Spring coaches first.
Ooh,
I don't have spring coaches on mine.
I don't know. No.
Approve that to the last one.
I say spring coaches, I think we did do at the last meeting. I believe so. Okay. Okay, so then moving on to the consideration of Libby Middle School cross-country coach. Did somebody else have a comment?
no, I just,
Okay, so at this time, because there are so many, and I'm not sure how many of you guys would like to step up and speak, but we are gonna limit the time to 2 to 3 minutes per person, just to save time. When you do speak, we will need you to come to the front so that the recording can, the microphone can pick up on your comments. So, okay. Does anybody want to speak in regards to Libby Middle High School cross country? No, excuse me, Libby Middle School cross country.
middle, okay, it was just high school. I had to look that up. Yep.
Good evening.
Hi.
My name is Rebecca Guerra. I'm here as a parent representing the cross-country team. Hopefully I can read off of it. I'm a little nervous.
What are you doing fine?
Well, I spoke in front of Montana legislature earlier, so we're good. All right. I'm here tonight to speak against the proposal to remove the middle school cross-country head coach position. This change is going to leave only 2 coaches responsible for both the middle school and high school teams. Approximately 50 students are in total already signed up. This is not challenging, it's unsafe and very unrealistic. The risk is great on average conditions, however, also become even greater when we consider the athletes that have disabilities. Inclusion is something that we have always valued, but it also means ensuring the proper supervision and accommodations are in place at all times. Failing to provide enough trained adults doesn't just put the students at risk, it's going to open the school up to serious liability costs. One injury, one child left unsupervised will lead to a lawsuit, which is going to cost far more than any coach's salary that you have. I've heard the concerns about the budget and low participation, but here's the reality. Cross country is one of the least expensive sports you have. It requires minimal equipment, a pair of running shoes. Our numbers are stronger than you are going to think. At last count, we have approximately 27 middle school students signed up for cross country this year, 25 at the high school level. That's over 50 students in our schools actively choosing to run. Check the numbers on the rest of your teams. We have the most athletes. I'm not only asking that you keep the head middle school coach position, I'm also up here asking that you also add an assistant coach as well. Every other sport in our school has both head coach and an assistant. Why should cross country be the only one shorted? Cutting from this program sends the message that these athletes don't matter, and honestly, it looks like discrimination as well. This is a sport that already survives on donations, fundraisers, and volunteer time just to have uniforms, food and drinks, and even at times, gas money to get to their meets. Taking away another essential position feels like a direct blow to our team that's already underfunded and underappreciated. Many of these athletes already feel their sport is ignored by this school. Don't give them another reason to believe it's true. Even with these 3 coaches, supervision is stretched thin. Reducing to 2 is cutting corners on safety and fairness. Our students deserve equal treatment, proper supervision, and the resources that they need to succeed, just like every other sport. 2 coaches will not grant these athletes the proper training that they require, and this affects them throughout the entire season and their life. I urge this board not to only keep all 3 current coaches, but also consider adding a middle school assistant coach. The cost of these positions is small compared to the value it brings in your liability, safety, and student well-being. Thank you.
Quick question, how many in the high school did you say? I got the 27 for the middle school.
25.
25, thank you.
27. 27.
27, 27.
And 27. I think I had it reversed. It was 25. 27.
It's now officially 28 for the high school.
Oh, numbers keep
As
rising.
of earlier.
Question, has this been discussed at the athletic committee?
Activities committee.
Activities committee, excuse me, it has.
Yes, and us.
And they made a recommendation.
They made a recommendation to not hire a middle school cross-country coach.
So the middle school students will be dealt with by the high school, middle school coaches.
Coaches, yes.
But do we do that with the other sports?
Well, I think the other issue is that I think last meeting that we had, 25 is where we start making those decisions.
Well,
Those numbers.
I mean, isn't there other sports that don't have that number? It's kind of.
Yeah, no, it's, but even like Nick said, 24 is where volleyball, but 25 is where it starts saying, do we need another coach? Does that make sense?
Doesn't volleyball have like 3 coaches already anyways?
That's 28.
Yeah, not three teams.
But 24 was that number.
I'm just saying, like, if you might as well just be consistent. Everyone talks consistency and no one actually preaches it.
Like, I'm saying is at 25, if they have 25, that's when we start looking and saying, do we need another coach? I mean, that's the threat.
Well, you.
They're saying they have that now. We haven't had those numbers up until.
We do have someone that wants to speak to it.
Oh, sorry.
We have a young lady with.
Go ahead.
I'm going into middle school, and I think that you guys should consider adding a head coach for the middle school to make it easier to watch the kids and so all of the kids can be supervised, and that all the athletes can play.
Nice job.
I think you're an excellent public speaker.
Yeah.
I agree with her. I come at this, I'm advocating for a middle school head coach for, my name is Scott Wardian. Scott Wardian. I'm advocating for a middle school head cross-country coach and an assistant as well. I look at these things from a liability standpoint, and with my role at the middle and high school, I always have to look at worst case scenarios. What's the worst that could happen? And how would we get to that point? And I think supervision is the ultimate thing that would get us there. And it's hard to quantify. So what are standards? There aren't any definitive hard standards for what appropriate supervision is. So I looked up some information just regarding cross country for middle school, high school, and at the collegiate level on what standards are for ratios for coach to athlete. So for middle school, the suggested ratio is 1 coach to 10 athletes or less. High school is 1 to 15 or less, and college is 1 to 20 or less. All of these kids generally are going off of campus. They're hard enough to supervise as is on campus, but when you spread them out even more, the more eyes we have, the better. I'm not going to read a whole lot of stuff here, but there are some things that I think warrant covering. So a duty of care. Coaches and organizations owe a duty of care to their athletes, which includes providing proper supervision and instruction. An insufficient coach to athlete ratio can be viewed as a breach of this duty, potentially leading to liability if an injury occurs. I know injuries don't always occur, but what if they do? We have policies and procedures in place for all sorts of events that can occur. And I think supervision is just an easy one to put out there. Supervision and instruction. A reasonable ratio ensures coaches can adequately supervise activities, provide individual instruction when needed, and address safety concerns promptly. This is particularly crucial for younger athletes or in activities with higher inherent risks. I mentioned the inherent or the recommended ratios already, so I'll skip that.
I've looked at those up too as well.
Yeah.
So like the has to be 30-1 ratio, I say 110.
Age and skill level. So you're going to bring in 6th graders for middle school, is that correct? Up to seniors in high school.
Should be going into 7th.
No,
The
6th
sixth-
grade is included.
That's what I'm wondering. So
Yeah.
6th graders are included with middle school for cross country. Your skill level and your age level is vastly different, and I think that part warrants additional supervision as well. So the skill level and the time that these younger kids need from a middle school standpoint, they just warrant having their own coaches there. So I'd like to advocate for that. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, my name's Andre Meehan. I'm the assistant cross-country high school coach. I'm going to read from here so I don't forget the stuff. That helps. All right, to start with, I'm not going to go over the meeting that in January of this year, where the school board agreed to the addendum to the union contract to memorialize the middle school cross-country coach position, separate from the high school assistant coach position and the high school head coach position. This addendum has been made and is in the signed and agreed upon union contract for 2025 to 2027. On page 21, Appendix B, listing a .06 middle school cross-country coach, a .11 high school head coach, and a .08 high school assistant coach. That don't matter. It does, but that's not why I'm here. This isn't about a position being cut. It's about ensuring that a program that engages over 50 of our kids continues to thrive and grow. It's about ensuring that safety of our students as they train. The cross-country program that the middle school provides has been hugely successful, developing a competitive high school team with not only school records being broken in recent years, you've seen some of the recent pictures put up, records being broken, but also creating standout male and female athletes that compete not only at the highest level in the state, but as well as the regional U.S. level. Okay, we're not talking small town, did you hear about that person down the road? We're talking at the regional U.S. level. We've got competitive students. Okay, currently we're projected for 53 kids. We had 45 last year, so we grew by 20% this year over last year. We have 5 meets for the middle school. We have 10 meets for the high school. Now looking at the coaching, talked a little bit about it. Let's look at a group of runners at the high school level. Our fastest runners are running a bit over 5 miles or 5-minute miles. Our slower runners are about 10 minutes. Okay, so given 10 minutes, your fastest group is going to be a mile away. Do you know what a mile away from here is? The high school. So if I'm here with some of our slower runners, our fastest runners are at the high school already. What they're doing, I have no idea. Am I able to coach them? No, I'm not. I can't see them. You can't see them from here. Same thing with the middle schools. We're looking at 6 minutes and 13 minutes. We've got some fast middle schoolers. But still, nonetheless, you can't coach that. You can't. Okay? So looking at the distances, the training. Middle school is half the distance. You don't want to exhaust them with long runs. Thus, they're shorter runs, more focused, less hill work. So you're not going to be doing the same exercise, the same routines with the high schoolers that you're doing with the middle schoolers. It's a whole different routine. Middle schools are running about 10 to 25 miles a week. High schoolers, 30 to 60. Training occurs off campus. Okay, this is different than any other sport. And why? Because that's what our sport is. We run everywhere. Should I stop?
Go ahead and finish.
Okay, we run anywhere. So all other sports are in a confined space. You can observe and coach at any given time. There could be a mile or 2 distance, so you can't coach them. Observation is key. But most importantly, I'll get to that, safety. What if a student gets lost? Last year, I was coaching a student that had intestinal issues, we'll just say, and had to stop somewhere. I lost that student for almost 30 minutes. I didn't know where the heck they were. They're on a toilet because it went through them, but I didn't know where they were. I was worried for them. And with one person, 20 students, that does happen. So with that in mind, with an additional coach, we can coach our athletes appropriately, but more importantly, we'll not be putting the safety of our children at risk by being understaffed. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Haley Meisner, and I'm a member of the high school cross country team. I'm here because I deeply care about our program, not just the high school team, but the middle school team that ensures the future success of the program. Right now, we have a coach who works tirelessly for both teams, but she's doing 2 jobs at once. Katzer is very dedicated and loves the sport, but coaching middle school without pay isn't sustainable or fair. Other sports at our school have multiple paid coaches for both middle and high school teams, even when their records aren't as strong as ours. Cross country is the most successful fall sport we have. We have many athletes who go to state and even athletes who place at state, yet it's the least supported. I believe that sends the message that some sports and some athletes matter more than others. If the middle school program is cut, it won't just hurt our younger athletes. It will damage the high school team for years to come. The middle school program is our pipeline. Without it, our numbers shrink, our competitiveness drops, and the program's success fades. And beyond competition, cross country is about opportunity. Cross country is the most inclusive sport our school offers. Without a middle school team, many kids lose the chance to be part of something that builds their health and confidence. Over the years, I've seen and experienced firsthand how cross country teaches endurance, and not just the physical kind, but the mental strength to keep pushing when things get hard. Cross country has taught me, as well as other athletes, how to fuel their bodies with better eating habits, how to listen when their bodies need rest or care, and how to make health a priority in their daily lives. These lessons go far beyond the race course. They become habits that shape healthier, stronger young adults. Without the middle school program, fewer students will gain these skills, and they lose the chance to learn values and skills that last a lifetime. I believe that hiring a dedicated middle school coach isn't just an expense, it's an investment in fairness, in student well-being, and the long-term success of one of our school's most successful programs. I urge the board to support the cross country team and ensure that cross country receives the same respect and resources as other sports. Don't you believe that every athlete deserves the same chance to succeed, no matter what sport they choose?
Thank you.
Good evening, school board members, parents, and community. I'm here to advocate for the continued support of our middle school cross-country program, a vital opportunity for our 6th to 8th graders. Cross-country builds strong, healthy students who are preparing to join our increasingly competitive high school team. This sport promotes physical fitness, helping kids develop endurance and healthy habits that will support their overall well-being and academic focus. It all teaches mental toughness, as running long distances encourage goal setting, perseverance, and confidence. Skills these young athletes will need to carry into high school competition. The program fosters teamwork and belonging, creates a supportive environment where every runner contributes, regardless of speed. This inclusivity helps students navigate the challenge of a middle school while building character and discipline. I understand concerns about limited coaching and budget constraints. Our program leverages dedicated volunteer coaches, which keeps costs low while maintaining quality. Cross country is also one of the most affordable sports, requiring minimal equipment and facilities, making it sustainable investment in our students' future. Please continue supporting this program and preparing our kids not just for the high school team, but for life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Dash. I have always loved running from the time I was 4 and fell in my first run or fell race and got up and still won it all the way up to now when I won a 5K in Oregon against adults and set a personal goal of running 200 miles over the summer. I had my first middle school cross country season last year as a 6th grader, and it was a whole new experience for me. I love the competitiveness of cross country and how challenging the different terrain can be. Cross country gives me a lot of confidence in myself. Running against 100+ girls, mostly older than me, was scary at first, but I learned quickly that it was one of my favorite things. Finishing top 3 in all of my races except for Polson, where I finished top 10, was rewarding after all the hard work that I put in. The experience I gained last year being a part of the middle school cross country team taught me a lot about myself as a runner and a teammate. Running cross country has taught me patience and hard work. It taught me how to take better care of my body through stretches, hydration, and eating properly. Cross country has given me a new mental toughness and strength that will help me throughout all areas of my life. It also taught me self-discipline. Having a cross country team and a coach that understands long distance running is important to me. Of all the sports that I do, this one is by far my favorite and means the most to me. I had an amazing first season, but I have goals to hit and records to break. To do that, I really need middle school cross country to continue. I need the experience of running the races. I need a coach that can help me learn to pace myself so I can finish strong and how to relax my shoulders while running so I don't end up hurt. There's a lot that cross country can still teach me, and I hope that the program continues so I can be competitive in high school.
Okay. Hi, I'm Capri, and I'm here because we really need middle school cross country. I've ran it for 3 years, not as much my 8th grade year because I moved up, but getting rid of middle school cross country really affects the high school level. And like many sports, the interest, is high school level. And if you get rid of middle school cross country, there'll be a huge decline in interest at the high school level when we just were seeing success in this sport last year. And our high school cross country team would be far behind other teams in experience, which could be 3 years behind, which is a lot. Even running cross country takes strategy, and it can change depending on the course and who you're competing with. And the knowledge of what tactics to use in the middle of a race is gained through experience. Each course may have a hill, rocks, sand, mud, and a bunch of different sections in the race. And in a middle school, athletes can gain the knowledge for the best way to run a certain course. For example, what parts to save their energy for, how fast they need to take off in the beginning or the end, and which parts you need to slow down. And then you also get to know the other competitives at the middle school level. Looking back on my middle school years, I was running with the same girls I'm running with now in the races at the high school level. And now I know how they run and just how they compete. And I've created a bunch of friendships with them. And just like in every other sport, middle school is the first step before high school. Sports get a little more intense, but not as serious as the high school level. If our program gets rid of middle school cross country, so many kids will be missing that step and all the opportunities that are given from it, getting to know the courses, building a running strategy, and learning about the other competitors. And just the opportunity to be able to see success in some of the races and gain interest in the sport of running.
Thank you.
I'm Adriana Reuter, and as someone who's managed basketball and football, and they're playing in a gym and on a football field where they can't really get lost or separated from their team, cross country's not. They're on a golf course or a state park, or you never really know where, and it's so easy to get separated and lost from your coaches. And if there's only 2 coaches trying to watch a bunch of high schoolers and middle schoolers, that's not really like the safest thing. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Cody Watson, and I believe we need a middle school cross-country coach because from personal experience, there's a big difference between them. High school runners are running a lot more than middle school runners, and they're usually running at faster paces than middle school runners. So I believe that you kind of need a coach to separate those kids, because if you don't separate them, it can cause harm to middle school kids, and it can take away from the high school kids' training.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasa Officer. I echo all these thoughts. I would also like to echo from the first person that spoke of I'd like to see a head coach and an assistant coach for the middle school. I have a daughter going into middle school cross country, but I also have a son who is going into high school athletics, and he is a type 1 diabetic. So from a liability standpoint, he never feels his lows. And if you think you've got 50 some odd kids with 2 coaches that can be spread out on a cross country track. Now, my athlete is not cross country, but I believe that the sport should be safe for all the other type 1s coming up. As we got our diagnosis, I looked around and would hear an alarm in Rosars and realize it's a continuous glucose monitor or see a peak of an insulin pump, that we have a lot of student athletes who are diabetics as well, and we need to create a safe space for them to compete too.
My name is Lauren Desch, and I'm coming at you from a parent standpoint. My daughter had her first season of cross country last year, and it's a sport that neither my husband or I had any clue what it was about or whether we're not runners. We had no idea, but it quickly became a favorite for both of us for a lot of reasons. It's been an amazing sport for our daughter. It taught her a lot of confidence. In one season, we saw her confidence in herself, just her belief in herself that she can go out and do things and conquer hard things, just bloomed within her last season, and we were so happy to see that. Last year, her running goal was 100 miles. This year, it's 200 miles. She's on track to set both of those goals, and that's because of the love and the passion that she has for running. However, as a 6th grader, she's now going into 7th grade. There's a huge gap between where she's at, where she's learning how to run and how to pace herself and how to hold her body so she doesn't hurt herself or pull any muscles, versus how like some of our high school runners are running. And we would like to see somebody who is very knowledgeable in what they do, in what these kids are doing. It certainly isn't me. And just how that they can run and run safely at their age, at their level, and without trying to push them to try and keep up with the high school kids that are just physically more advanced. My husband and I have always been involved in our kids' athletic events because we know the value that team sports can have in your everyday life. One of the most important things we've always tried to teach our kids is mental toughness, how to not give up when things are tough, when your mind shouts enough, or when fear and uncertainty are weighing you down. Our son found it in wrestling. Our daughter found it in cross country. The mental side of running cross country is one that I know nothing about. All I know is that it takes a special kind of mind to push through all that pain and exhaustion, especially when you're on a course and you're by yourself and your teammates aren't necessarily with you to lift you up. As a mom, having a middle school cross country team with knowledgeable coaches would be a blessing. Having a coach that knows how to teach her all of the proper ways to hold her body and breathe and what she should be eating and drinking. I second what Jasa said about her son being type 1 diabetic. My daughter is hypoglycemic, so her blood sugars drop whenever she overexerts herself too much. She runs with a pack, and she runs with her phone in case she has an emergency. She runs with glucose in a pouch that she can take if she needs it, but knowing that she could be in the middle of anywhere and without an adult with her is definitely a concern that we have while she's out running. Running cross country as a middle schooler will set her up for success in high school. She finished her first season as in 3rd place for the state for 6th grade girls and 17th overall for middle school girls in the state. So she has a bright future ahead of her in running, and we would like to see coaches that can come alongside her at her level where she's at and help her go further in this sport. She has goals that she set for herself, and that's something that cross country has taught her as well, how to set her goal, how to work for it, how to drive herself and achieve those goals. She wants to break high school records when she gets there. She wants to get college scholarships. And in order to do that, we would like to see coaches that can meet her where she's at and carry her along her journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience?
I got a couple questions.
Sure.
So, a couple of us just got on board in May, so I know it's discussion went back in January. So just trying to catch up with the conversations prior to this. because I heard it said from several different folks that came up here about there not being a program. So I want to ask the question. So Brittany, you and Andre, if they don't decide to hire a coach, there will not be a middle school program. Is that what I heard? Or will you coach the middle school program?
Well, I've been in contact with the state union rep, and at this point, we're looking at a whole nother issue there because that is a separate contracted position. So that's something that I think the board needs to discuss. I think putting Andre and I in that position of liability is unfair to the entire cross-country program.
I'm just curious as to, because I've heard it said there won't be a program.
What I was told by Mr. Goodman was if Andre and I don't coach it and utilize those two high school coaches for the middle school program is cut.
Okay.
That's the information I was given.
So my next question is kind of for the administration then is, when, because it's in middle school, they're not starting sporting events yet. When do they start?
Middle school cross country starts a week before school starts. It's 3 weeks longer than other middle school sports because our first meet is on the second day of school. So we are looking at a start date of the 22nd, August 22nd.
For middle school?
For middle school cross country.
We'll start
And we
earlier
go-
than school starts, is that correct?
Yes.
High school starts on the 15th.
So the other thing we heard at our activities meeting, I asked the question, how many meets they had last year? And it came up that they went one, that was in Eureka.
That was only one that was not with the high school team.
Okay.
Yeah, they traveled.
Because then I heard that there's 5 now, and I just, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they travel with our high school program.
Okay, so they're running at the same time, it'll be 5 of the 10 or 11, they said.
Yeah, you'll go like a high school varsity, high school JV, high school girls varsity, high school girls JV, then a middle school race. So they're all at different times.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have 5 this coming year.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a difference.
I have a question too. I've never been to a cross-country event and show my ignorance here. How exactly does it work? I mean, obviously it's cross-country. It's not like running around the track. So you have a starting point and end point. I get that. So what happens between that with the coaches? So how long is the normal race? Like, is it 3 miles, 10 miles? Where are the coaches along the way? I mean, are they just hopping on golf carts and trying to get ahead of them? Just, make sure they're doing the.
Brittany, do you want to answer that? You want me to?
I'm happy to answer that. So middle school races are 1.5 to 2.2 miles. That's what we train for. High school cross country is a set number. So they're 5K, 3.1 miles. And we do the best we can. But what you have to understand is, like, let's say our team tent. We have 53 kids that are all at the team tent with different start times, different end times. And so we're trying to supervise possible behavior issues while still trying to keep the kids safe out on the course. We do have one student that has multiple seizures, still having those seizures on a daily basis. He's gotten lost on the course multiple times. And so we're walking to each other, calling to each other, saying, have you seen this runner? They're due to finish. They haven't finished yet. So we do the best we can, but like one of the people said in their letter, we really utilize as many volunteers and parents as we can to help with that. But we lost a volunteer this year that has other commitments. So with it being Andre and I just would like to echo that sentiment that has been spoken here. It's unrealistic, and I think it's a huge liability and unfair to both of us and to all of the kids in this room to provide 2 coaches for that number of kids.
Where are they staged at?
Huh?
Where are they staged at? I haven't heard the answer.
We have team tents. So, and then the start line could be at different places, but come August 29th, and you can see.
Yeah, I've been at the golf course.
And if you're wondering where the coaches are along the course, it varies, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna move to different spots, to interact with their athletes at different times at certain places. And so the coaches are as active as the athletes a lot of times. You'll see coaches running back and forth.
Actually, chased one coach off the course because he was riding his bike across the finish line.
I was there when they lost.
Because there's certain courses, you'll have a helmet, you gotta push
you gotta instruct your athletes, this is where you gotta hit, and you gotta do this.
Yeah.
And then you go around, 200 feet, and there's another obstacle, there's something else you gotta do, and you gotta get the guidance there. The last 500 feet, you gotta do a real big push there, so you gotta get it. You're constantly out there.
Yeah.
For some of the top runners too, like Cody and Capri being state placers last year, they want you at mile 1 and mile 2 saying where their splits are because they're looking to break those records and they want to place in state. So a lot of times Andre and I are like, I'll take mile 1, you take mile 2, then they'll get their final time at mile 3. So it just depends.
Yeah.
But
And that's coordinating also why we have, okay, you're out there running, okay, JB is gonna be up next. That'll be in about 5 minutes, but we've gotta be over here, we've gotta be over there. Why we've gotta get these next kids wrapped up and going here.
Yeah. No, this is all good information because I was completely, like I said, ignorant to how it works, so.
Yeah, you don't know which way to get out there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great, they just go running, and then they come back.
Yeah. Well, that's what I assume, they're start and finish, just get there.
Well, Tony, were you at the activities?
I was that, yeah, in a little different information given, the light was there and Rob was there as well, so the numbers are changed. And so our recommendation at that time was, it wasn't to not hire, we agreed to come back and look when we got the numbers. So we set up a meeting on Monday, the 18th, and it wasn't only just cross-country. It also was soccer, wanted some 8th graders to come up. And now tonight you're possibly the volleyball.
And also.
Yeah, so we were kind of putting the cart ahead of the horse now. No, because my question to, Brittany wasn't there at that meeting, but some of the coaches were. And my question to them was, well, what happens if you have 70 kids show up and what if you have way more and you needed a different thing? So then we had said we were going to meet on Monday to discuss what the numbers were because most of the sporting events started practice this week. And then everybody would have a better idea of what they needed. Because, like an example, soccer wanted to bring in 15 8th graders. And we heard from another coach that it would ruin the Kootenai Raptors, that program, if they all left that. So we were trying to be diligent in making sure that we brought up enough to make sure we got a good number in the high school, but not damage that feeder program down in the middle school as well.
And we were only hearing 43, not 53, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and so I had sent a spreadsheet because I was asked to get projected numbers of middle school, and at that time it was 24. So we've added 3 to that, but it hasn't changed that much. When I sent the projected rosters to the board members on the activities committee and to Mr. Roisin, and looking at the averages from the last 3 years, we've been 45 to 48 the last 3 years. So that projected number isn't a surprise, and it hasn't changed by more than 2 to 4 kids.
I just received your email this last week, so I'm sorry, I hadn't gotten it before that, and that was just the discussion.
And I know I had sent it to you, Rob, and then to Mark, Jean, and Tony.
Well, some of the numbers were a little bit, we had questions because there was like 5. You had 5 5th and 6th graders. And then there was, I don't remember, the high school number was around like
I think it was
20.
5 6 graders.
It was, so when you talk about 6th graders, you only had 5. That was what we were told, so.
So 6th, 7th, 8th, it was the middle school roster, and like I'm saying, Mark can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when I sent that to Mark, Tony, and Rob, I had 24 projected middle school, and we've had 25 plus projected high school since June when we had that meeting, and you asked me to provide that.
Yeah, I have that, but at that first activities meeting, we had a different, that's what I'm saying, we made our decision based on the information we had at that meeting.
Where was that information from?
They are meeting on Monday?
Yeah.
You are meeting on Monday, the activities?
We are.
Is that?
That was why I asked the question if the middle school started later. It was just, is there time to wait till after the meeting? I wasn't sure if they didn't start till after the school year started. And we got some time to work with that. I know that with the high school, as Nick had said, but also the rule with the 8th graders coming up, they're supposed to be playing JV. So that gives us time. And you mentioned it changes that a little bit too.
And do you have the additional coaches request paperwork filled out? Because I hadn't seen that yet either.
We don't need to do that when it's now been added to the CBA as a separate middle school coach.
But anytime we add coach because of numbers, that paperwork's supposed to be.
That's not an added coach because of numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany, can you just historically wise, for example, what happened last year? What happened when Ben Jeremiah was the middle school coach? Where were we sitting with numbers? Where were we sitting with coaches?
So I talked to a couple people today. We looked up stuff on athletic.net. So let me paint a picture for you. In 2015, we had 3 middle school runners. In 2016, 2018, that jumped to 16. And then steady over the last 3 years, our average for middle school has been 22 to 25. Our average for high school has been similar. So when you look at the addition of private school and Christian school homeschool kids, that's where we really saw this boom. And that's what I've been saying. We've got to respond to this number because we're having the opposite issue as a lot of the programs. We're booming. We're getting all these additional kids. And when you look at just the last 10 years to go from 3 middle school kids to nearly 30, that is significant.
Does cross-country cut? Typically, if their numbers get too large?
We have never cut in the past. No,
Okay.
I mean, it's a new problem in the last few years that we're like, we need to respond to this. And what a good problem, yeah.
I just wasn't sure if it was something that they did.
You know, I'm sure there's times that some of the kids wish we cut.
Cutting weight, probably.
Another side benefit is that there's a lot of homeschoolers and Christian schools that run cross country. And we get a 16th their A and B money. So whoever ran, not co-op kids like Troy, but anyone in any sport that comes, that is homeschool or the Christian school, or any sport, the following year, that comes in to us. So it's about 16th of approximately 8,000.
Okay, does the board?
So Brittany, can you do us a favor though, send something to me and Robin later, your total number of cross-country runners?
This
High
year,
school and middle school for like the last 3 or 4 years.
last 3 or 4 years, it's been 45 to 48 consistently. And this year, right now, as of today, we're projected to be 53.
Okay.
Okay, is there any other questions or comments from the board?
Well, I want to say the finance that Mark's talking about, side of it. Our budget's what, Stacy, 9.6 something million, and a coach is $1,800.
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
Middle school assistant coach would be about $3,000.
No, it's 0.06.
It's 0.06. Huh?
It's 0.06 for the head middle school.
For a middle school coach.
Okay, and that's a good point too, because that's one of the least amount of multipliers in the CBA right there too. So it's cheapest one, and it's a drop in the bucket, period. In the story, it's a drop in the bucket. I can't believe we're having these conversations for this long with our taxpayer dollars that can go 5 coaches to football, 10 total if you look at middle school, and we can't go 3 freaking coaches to cross country. This is bizarre to me.
And we pay for our.
It's our tax money. Our tax money.
At this time, we are going to kind of take a vote. The motion needs to be a positive affirmation, and then you vote for it or against it. So it will have to be a motion to hire a middle school cross-country coach.
I motion we hire a middle school cross-country coach.
Second.
I have a motion by Cody and a second by Rob to approve the hiring of a middle school cross-country coach. Any final questions or comments?
So we would do this before Monday's meeting.
Unfortunately, I think we have to because of school, or because when practice starts.
When does practice start?
The 22nd.
High school starts the 22nd. When's middle school start?
High school starts the 15th,
Or
and
the
school
15th.
starts the 22nd.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, right.
And
It starts at what?
Friday.
Middle school starts the 22nd.
22nd.
So we have,
And we have
You still have to post it, we posted for 5 days.
Yeah, that's
But
not
we
cute.
can't make a decision as a committee, we have to make it as a board.
Insane.
But we have a board
Get
meeting
away with
on
it.
the 18th to finalize the.
If you wait, it won't be decided till next
Isn't
week.
that right?
Yeah.
We can. So the board meeting can say that back to the committee. And they can make a recommendation.
That's why we had the committee,
Why we have the committee.
so this didn't happen.
It's already been posted
The
as
committee already
edited.
talked about it, it's up for vote now. The committee talked about it last week.
We're discussing on what.
Gotta be
we're going to
respectful,
do,
you guys.
Cody. It's okay. if we
I'm just pointing out, they talked about it last week, they hashed it out, and now here we are, the regular scheduled board meeting.
We
Time
have
to
a
vote.
motion, we have a motion on the floor.
We have a motion on the floor.
So all those in favor of hiring a middle school cross-country coach, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
You know, there's just one thing, it's wonderful to see you all here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a retired teacher. It would be wonderful to see you all here when we're talking about curriculum, when we're talking about something in the classroom, when we're talking about the problems we have in the classroom and the help we need, when we're talking about how to spend taxpayers' dollars on education. I am all for athletics. Got my son through school. He wouldn't have made it otherwise. Believe me, that was the carrot we hung over his head. But we are here to educate children. And we can't lose sight of that. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
I got one thing to say too. I love listening to the kids talk about it. Thank you for having your kids speak up because that is probably the most important part of the school.
Well, it is, yes.
It's great.
They were very great.
They did that went on in schools.
Okay, so moving on then, we are moving on to the hiring of 3 paraprofessionals. They can be lumped together.
Okay.
I move that. Are you gonna go?
No,
Go ahead.
Okay, number 11.
there are 3 of them.
Yes.
Well, it's A and B, so Lorna Oden, Julie Marshall, and for the Central Charter School, Heather Robertson.
Can I interrupt you real quick? Stacy, I got a question for you to make sure that vote was legal. Don't think Cody can.
Yeah, I can, I got the policy book right
Do
here.
you? Okay, because every time the spouse was involved, I thought,
Cody, let's be respectful.
I'm just,
I
hey, I don't have the policy, I'm asking a question.
So Nick,
Is that correct?
he can
Okay,
vote
good.
because it wasn't actually hiring of.
That's why I was asking the, we weren't sure.
Yes.
Perfect,
Thank you
Good
for.
question.
just so we didn't screw that one up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a motion, please.
I move that we hire Lorna Oden, Courtney Seward, and Julie Marshall as paraprofessionals for Libby Middle High School.
A second, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Ellen, a second by BG to approve Libby Middle High School paraprofessionals Laura Oden, Courtney Seward, and Julie Marshall. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. So then moving on to Central Charter paraprofessional.
I move that we accept Kara Heather Robertson for the charter school. Paraprofessional, I should say.
Yeah, she did art.
Oh, art, okay.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve Kara Heather Robertson for 2.25 hours a day, 2 days a week as a paraprofessional. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to Taryn Sherbo as 5th and 6th assistant girls basketball coach.
I so move.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve Taryn Sherbo as listed. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, and Miss Renee Rose is requesting to take time off, correct? That's what her request is?
She's gonna be studying at FAR, and all she's asking for is the days.
What a gift. What a gift.
Very fortunate.
Makes it to Nepal and back without
Yes.
ambushed or something.
I move that we agree to give Renee Rose the time she needs to do her professional development for the district.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve Renee Rose for foreign country professional development. Any questions or comments?
Ron, do you know the length of it?
12
The
days.
length of her,
12 days.
oh, 12 days, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, no old business, so we are moving on to new business. Consideration of destruction of fiscal year 16-17 business office records.
Second.
That's not something I was really putting, that wasn't something I had to read, I was really.
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
No.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by BG, to approve the destruction of fiscal year 16-17. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, consideration of 25-26 fan lease agreement for golf with Ben Graham Foundation or Mr. Rohr.
I so move.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve the 25-26 fan lease agreement for golf. Any questions or comments?
It's so expensive.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, consideration of 25-26 school nutrition pricing
I was
increases.
surprised they didn't go up more. I was pleased they didn't.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I thought they would keep on supporting that.
I did too.
Okay, so it is something we need to approve, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by BG to approve the 25-26 school nutrition meal price increases. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, consideration of employee and student handbooks.
I have a question before we start.
Sure.
Does every teacher get one of these handbooks?
Yes,
Are they handed out?
and they're electronically available 24/7.
Do you go over it at all? Thank you.
Sure.
Change my page, but.
There's an awful lot of stuff in there,
Yes.
and I'm not for sure everybody knows that.
I would agree with
Yeah.
Again, the district handbook.
Or pays attention, yeah. So,
Okay, so we need to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the employee and student handbooks, 2025.
I need a second, please. I have a motion by Rob and a second by Tony to approve the employee and student handbooks for the year 2025, 26. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to the consideration of the lease agreement with CDI or Head Start for the Plummer Building.
Yeah.
Did you get all the questions answered?
Yeah, and we got the information, and I think the big issue is I don't know what leverage they have, but yeah. So the big concern that we had is it was a 20-year lease, and a lot of things can happen in Lincoln County in the next 20 years. So what they did is they said basically that we have basically a 2-year window. We have to go at least 2 years, and then at that point we can get out if we want to. And back to Tony, he said, if they have an opportunity to get out, why don't we have an opportunity to get out? So they said that's reasonable. And so I thought that was great. Then the other big issue was what's going to take place if we have softball games taking place there. Nobody can be on the property until after 3:30. Well, that's going to be difficult for softball. And so they basically said, try to minimize it as much as possible. So at this point, they were very reasonable.
So
Changed from 20 to 15.
Was it, it's 24, we have to be 2 years old, but then it's 24 months.
Yep.
Notice, yeah, okay.
And I think the big issue is I think the school district, we're very much in favor of having Head Start being successful in that building.
Yeah.
And so we wouldn't want to just kick them out and rent it like that.
Yeah.
But, things could change.
What about the playground?
Playground is, the playground, that's a great question. That's the other issue. That was my big concern, if we're gonna, the amount of money to make the playground what it should be, it's more than we're gonna accept from them. And so they said a one-time grant that they're gonna get to Head Start to upgrade that. So we'll have an upgraded facility. That's a good deal for us. So,
And they're paying for that.
They're paying for it.
Okay.
Correct. Good point.
So they changed some of those 45.
Hmm.
It was 20 years. Now it's 15.
Mm-hmm. And,
Right.
yeah. Yep, for instance. So I think it's, I remember I was here when we did the original 20-year lease, and I wasn't there about the time. It worked out. I hope it doesn't get much worse. But I think it's good at this point.
Okay. So at this point, I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
A second? I have a motion by Walt and a second by Rob to approve the lease agreement with CDI Head Start for the Plummer Building. Any other final questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
I move. We adjourn.
I have a motion by Gigi and a second by Ellen to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Have a good night, everybody.
Now, if somebody just hits the law.
I think I spell it. I mean, obviously, that's a lot of the same thing.
I will. Don't worry.